This is the Nomad Star Tracker, and today I'm going to show you how to set it up. All right, let's get to it. So that video really wasn't working out too well at the beach. It was kind of windy. I forgot my mic, and it did sound too good. So we're back in the studio. We're starting all over. So here we go, and we're going to talk about the Nomad. This is the Nomad Star Tracker. All right, developed by Alan Wallace. Rest in peace, Alan Wallace. He was a great astrophotographer. His YouTube channel still exists. So please go check it out. He has great tutorials if you're interested in the night sky. He was one of the photographers that I was inspired by, to go out and shoot the Milky Way. And I started back in 2019 and I never looked back. And the way that I took my Milky Way images, so I would take a series of 10 to 25 images at ISO 6400, 8000 with a shutter speed of 10 to 20 seconds, depending on the focal range of the lens that I was using. And then you would stack them in a software called Sequitur or Sequator, which is the right way of saying it. I'm not sure. I think it's Sequitur. All right. If you guys know, drop it in the comments. Let me know. All right. And that's how you would create the images. And so far, I've been loving that style. I, I'm happy with the images that I've taken. I sell them online at art shows. So I think I'm doing something right. And this Star Tracker, though, I'm going to use it for the first time, hopefully this weekend, depending on the weather. You know, I mean, if it's cloudy out, what can you do? If it's super windy, I don't even bother because it really does, no matter how sturdy your tripod is, it is moving the camera around, especially if it's very, very windy. So this Star Tracker is supposed to help you give you longer exposure. So 2, 3 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You can use lower ISOs. Yeah. You can use a lower ISO and you can stop down your aperture so the stars can be sharper. That's really three key things that is beneficial to using a star tracker. So I'm challenging myself and I'm going to try it this weekend. Hopefully, there's going to be a part two. I'm going to show you. I'm going to do both of them. I'm going to do stacked images and I'm going to do a star tracked image. So there's a little more that you have to do when you're using a star tracker, and I'll explain later. So let's get right to the setup, and here we go. All right. So the first thing you want to do is you want to have your tripod has to be level. That's critical. All right. Even if you're not using a star tracker, definitely have your tripod level. I use a leveling base. Okay. So first you put on your leveling base. This is the newer leveling base. All right. So you screw that on there. And I'm going to link everything, most of the stuff. Hopefully I won't forget anything in the description. I have no affiliation. I'm not making any money. I just want to share my knowledge with you. All right. So make sure, you level it out here. So once you have this level, good. The tripod is good to go. Don't try to touch it. Don't, mess around with it. Just try to keep it as level as you can. All right. So you would twist this knob over here. And then this like slides like this. See how it gives it's sliding like this, like a saucer or something. All right. So you get it nice and level. All right. Let me loosen up a little bit more. Nice and level. There we go. So there. Bam. Nice and level. Next up is the wedge, also developed by Move Shoot Move. All right. They have great products. Go check them out at moveshootmove.com. All right. So this is called a wedge. That's next up. This is meant to have precise polar alignments. So here, these two knobs here, this is for your azimuth. All right. And this is for your altitude. All right. So it goes, it tilts this way and that way. All right. So this is better. This is a better way of polar aligning because you're going to be using a laser. I'm going to be showing you that in a minute. You're going to be using a laser to point to the North Star. So this is, you can do with micro adjustments on this. All right. So we're going to put that on. All right. All right. So next up is the Nomad. All right. So I'm going to attach the laser first and show you that. So here in the back, all right, it has a screw, it has a top here. So you take that off here. All right. And then there's a hole. And with the kit, the Nomad kit comes with this top right here. And you screw that in. All right. And then you have your laser. Okay. So you take the top off the laser, just like that. Take the top off the laser and screw that in there. All right. And there we have our laser. Isn't that cool? All right. So you do that. And now another thing well, I can do this. I'll show you. So you slide it in and you go ahead and tighten that up. I'm going to bring this down a little bit just to show you. All right. Tighten that. That's good. That's good. All right. So you got your laser already set up. Now you're going to put a ball head on top of the Nomad. The easiest way to do it is to unscrew this here. All right. This is two pieces here. It has grooves over here. This is going to just go right back in and you're going to tighten it up. It's easier to put your ball head on this way than screwing it on. It's not going to get tight. So you're going to have to do it this way. All right. So I'm going to, oops, my bad. You got to do it like this. All right. This is the art size low profile ball head. All right. I wanted to keep it nice and small in here. I had a bigger ball head, but I just recently bought this one because I like the way that it rotates here on the bottom. All right. So we're going to put this on here. I'm not going to make everything nice and tight because I'm going to be taking apart now and putting it back on for when we go out and shoot the Milky Way. But this is for demonstration purposes only. All right. Okay, so we got that set up like that. All right, and we just tighten it up like that. Let me just move this here a little bit here. And now next up is another suggestion that if I may, you'd want it to go this way. All right, in case you want to move the ball head further down this way. All right, which you definitely probably would want to. So it's better that way with this opening here in the back. All right, so you tighten that up. Let's go ahead and just move it up here a little bit. Now we're going to put the camera on. And I use the Canon R5 with the 15 to 35, the RF 15 to 35 at 2.8. And I've experienced that when I shoot the Milky Way at 2.8 wide open, you get a lot of those pointy stars at the edge of the frame, you know, and sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's a little bit, and sometimes you can fix it in Photoshop. I really don't want to do that. I just like, doing my edits to the Milky Way and just add it instead of and just cropping it out. I don't want to do that either. And once you drop it down to like f3.2, that goes completely away. So with this star tracker, I'm going to try to shoot at f4, f4.5, 5.6, because it's definitely going to give you a sharper image. And I'm really looking forward to it. All right, so now we're going to put this on here. All right, and bam. So now you're all set up. You're good to go. Now you turn on your laser. All right, you can set up the laser, before and then put your camera on. I'm going to show you what sometimes you might run into this problem when you put your camera on, you're ready to go, you want to do your polar alignment, you set it up and bam, it's going to hit something, because there's a lot going on here. So the laser's hitting right now, it's hitting a knob on the ball head. Sometimes it's going to hit the camera. It all depends. You might get lucky, it might not be. But if that happens, all you got to do, just slide it over. There you go, bam. Now it's not exposed anymore. You're good to go. And make your polar adjustments here, with the altitude, here with your azimuth. You got to actually see, it's still hitting. I didn't even notice that. There you go. I'm going to do a little bit more and bam, now we're good to go. All right. Now we're good to go. It's pointing out, it's pointing out. There's no obstruction. You make your precise polar alignments. Once you have it polar aligned, all you got to do is shut it off. You're good to go. Let's put this camera back into place, all right? Just make it nice and smooth, all right? So you can keep your tripod nice and steady. You're doing all this work. You want to be careful. Just take it easy and enjoy the moment, but be careful, all right? So that's the way you set up the Nomad, the Star Tracker with your camera. If you have any questions, please drop it in the comments. And by the way, I always keep forgetting, my name is David Ortega. I am a I am a land and seascape photographer in beautiful Long Island, New York. And I created this channel because I want to share my knowledge of taking photos, editing them. I do have an art business as well that I've been selling my photographs now for 9 years online and at art shows around Long Island. So I'm going to be sharing that too. So I'm going to be doing this hopefully on Friday. You know, the weather, it plays a major factor, and the fact that I'm getting older and I can't hang out all night long, then go to work the next day. You know, I have a full-time job and I'm a full-time artist. So I've been putting a lot of work, and I found photography about, 10 years ago, and I haven't looked back. I've always been into the arts, and I found something that I love to do, and I wanted to share my knowledge with you. All right. So if you want to go and follow me and find out, how this turns out, there's going to be a part two. I'm going to show you how the Star Tracker works, and I'm going to be doing stacked images as well. And any questions, drop it in the comments. If you have any tips, please drop them in the comments. I want this to be a community of sharing. So again, looking forward to part two. And yeah, peace and take care until the next one. All right. Thanks for watching. Whoa, see, I just tripped over this thing.